Okay. I said 42, I was wrong. Go ahead.
And are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
Yep, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing, man. So these nations are nothing, man. Yeah, the Most High don't care about them. All right. That's why they're going to be in subjection to the Israelites. That's why the Most High is not going to deal with the heathen at all. Because what did Yahweh Shai say? Actually, you know what? Who wants to hold the camera? Everybody jumping at it.
No, I'm sick, so I'll just go.
All right, go ahead. You can. Everybody jumped up. I'll do it. That's good though. That's that meek. That's that humble spirit. There's a scripture that I was thinking of.
Can I get this real quick? This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So like the brother was talking about, okay, we're going to put all these nations in subjection. Okay, that's our rightful spot. That's our birthright, is to rule all these nations. Okay, because here it is, they put us in slavery. Here it is, we've been suppressed by Esau, these other nations, when their whole existence was created just to be our servants, to be our slaves. And here it is, they rebelled with Esau, the world rebelled against Jacob. Okay? So in our kingdom, when Yahweh Shai is ruling, we're going to be joint heirs with him. And we're going to rule this nation with a rod of iron. So if they get out of line, we're going to punish them. We're going to punish them to the point that they're going to fear getting out of line. But because they're always going to have a fleshy heart, it's like a stony heart, they're never going to be able to be perfect. So we're constantly going to have something to do. The kingdom is never going to be stagnant. Okay, that balance, that duality is always going to exist. The heathen are going to get out of line, and we're going to put them in order. We're going to send them into different planets in the universe to mine resources, to bring animals, precious things unto us. And if they think badly, we're going to use that iron, that rod of iron, to go inside their head. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And this is red letter, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. So he's saying, those of you that continue holding fast to the program, sticking to the program. That's all you gotta do is stick to the program. Okay? Come out here week in and week out, prophesy the downfall of America. Do your weekly lessons. Get your 3 videos plus a week. Be a brother. Okay? Desire the brotherhood. Alright? And follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability.
This level of dedication gotta come. Bro, that's why Great Millstone is a standard. That's why it's set up like this. Every week we're out here doing this, man. Every Sunday we're out here. No breaks, man. And then throughout the week putting up lessons. So this is a continual service, right? Hey, like Apostle Dar said, you should be putting up a video a day. Yeah. So it's a daily service, man. With Apostle Gabar, he has his new channel is called the Daily Edification, the Daily Exhortation. Man. So it's day to day, man. Every day there's something coming out.
This is Psalm 37 and 4. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Yep, delight yourself in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So this has got to be where your heart's at. All right, get Luke chapter 12, verse 23. This is where your heart is, or where your treasure is. There, where your heart will be also, or where your heart is, there. What is it?
Either
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it because I know I'm messing it up. But this word is supposed to be your delight. It's supposed to be what you delight in, man.
Yeah.
Because we're Israelites. You're supposed to want your enemies to be destroyed, man.
Hey, just doing the work should be a delight.
Yeah.
Okay, because like, bro, like,
Well, how you think my brothers hold camp for 3-4 hours?
because it's a delight. Okay, I was like maybe an hour ago. I just feel like
What is that?
I just feel like a presence of peace, bro, doing this work.
The website pledging $5,000 for the first person.
Bible says flat earth. This is madness.
Yeah,
$5,000? You prove me wrong?
$5,000.
you got 5,000 bust down.
Okay, 5,000. You prove yourself right. You prove yourself right, and I'll give you $5,000 right now.
Using only the Bible to defend the heliocentric model. I'll give you
This is Isaiah 40 and 22.
Oh yeah,
Isaiah.
the circle on here. Oh, that's. Yeah, he also.
Hey, you're an Edomite. You're going into
same
slavery.
book
You're going to be destroyed,
said
man.
that there's a ball, so he was
When you look it up, it says a
Hey,
orb.
remember.
What's an orb?
Hey, look.
What's an
Hey, it
orb?
also says an ornament.
What's an
Hey.
orb?
Hey, get
It's a
ready. Hey,
sphere.
just get ready for slavery.
All right.
You're going into slavery.
All right,
You're going into slavery. You're Edomite.
All right,
He's proud. He's proud. Yeah.
Look around. That's Amalek.
Yeah. He's the devil, man.
Yep.
He don't even know what's going on. He's over here worried about the flat earth. And he's about to go, his whole kingdom's about to be destroyed.
Yeah. This is Isaiah 40 and 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in.
Look, you Edomites, you're gonna be destroyed, man. That spirit, you ain't gonna be in that spirit in the kingdom. You ain't gonna be in that spirit in the kingdom. You ain't gonna laugh, you ain't gonna smirk, you ain't gonna look up. You're gonna fucking rod of iron straight to the dome.
To the top.
You're gonna get your head cracked open. Fucking Edomite devil.
Yeah.
Flat earth bullshit, man. Ain't no flat earth. Stupid ass Edomite. Man, you know what it is? An Edomite that launched himself in a rocket to try and prove that the flat earth was a real thing.
Explain. Oh, it's not.
Go ahead, Art.
Explain time zones.
In time zones. If you explain that if you go in one direction in a plane, you will come back to that same direction. This isn't Pac-Man. You don't enter into some vortex and come out the other side, man. But the thing is, you said prove it through the scripture. You can't. You can't prove it like physically through the scriptures. There's nothing in the scriptures that says, yes, the earth is a globe. It doesn't say that in those words.
Well, there's that's why you have to look up words. Because like I said,
Or
this is 2 Kings 23 and 5. And he put down the idolatrous beast, whom the kings of Judah had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Judah, and in the places round about Jerusalem. Them also that burned incense unto Baal, to the sun, and to the moon, and to the planets, and to all the hosts of heaven. Now when you look up the Hebrew word for planets, okay, which I'm about to do.
hey, just look at the moon. It's a circle.
Yeah.
A fucking moron.
The word there for planets.
You telling me it's just a disc?
The word there for planets is Montezol. Montezolia. And it says, constellations, planet, man. But just when you use Google, it'll tell you that planet, it means an orb.
When you use common sense,
Yeah.
just look at the moon. If you ever stared at the sun, it's a circle. You're telling me that the sun is a flat? Nothing in this world is flat. If that was true, why aren't there just all these flat people walking around?
Why isn't it a pop-up book, you know?
Yeah.
Just flat pop-up.
Yeah, why aren't we all just two-dimensional creatures walking around flat as paper, man? Why is everything created in circles? Why are your muscles created in twine? All right? Everything is circular, man. Fucking idiots. That don't make any sense. You have to be one of the lowest forms of life
They submit.
to think that the earth is flat. You got to be an actual retard, man. And you can see it in his face, his smug, proud, stupid ass face. Fuck that guy.
back in Psalm 37 and 5, it says, "Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also."
This thing
in
is
him.
all about faith, man. You can't please Yahweh Hashem outside without faith. Hey, like I was watching the Apostles video of their camp, and he was talking about the 12 tribes chart. And he said before you even knew the breakdown, you accepted it, right? Because it was by faith, because you saw it in the Lord and said, yeah, that's it, man. That's the truth. If not, then you wouldn't even be out here. All right. So the Lord has to draw you, man. All right, the Lord is the one that calls you into this. If you believe in this, because the Lord gave it to you to believe in it, man. What you do with it from there, that's a different story.
It says in the scriptures, to you it was given.
To you, it was.
But unto them it was what snares and nets, right?
Yeah. So it wasn't. Unto them was it not given.
How much more the heathen then, you know?
So if 2/3 of the nation of Israel can't understand this truth, heathens cannot come near it. All right, that's why you see people like me, brothers like me, preaching. If you think I'm an Edomite, you're fucking you don't got no faith, man. The Lord didn't call you. The Lord didn't open your eyes, man. You're still blind. You got it.
There's Matt 13:11. He answered and said to them, because it has been given to he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
Go ahead.
God, this is Isaiah 42 and 8. I am Yahweh, that is my name. Oh, bro, that's thick. I am Yahweh, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another.
My glory will I. So the Lord's not going to give the secrets of the kingdom of heaven. The Lord's not going to give access to the tree of life to a heathen, man. All right. He says he shows the word to secrets to his prophets, man. All right, which his prophets are Israelites. Go ahead.
It says, neither my praise to graven images.
Neither my praise, because what do these heathen worship, man? Graven images. All right. These heathen nations' gods, they're graven images. They're just wood and stone, man. They're not alive. Our power is the living God, man. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the living power, man. Jesus Christ's not alive. This guy's dead. Cesare Borgia is a dead man. All right, he didn't get resurrected on the third day. He just died. He just died homosexual. It's just a dead gay guy.
Dead gay. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
Yep. And that's how you know that a prophet is a prophet. Right? Because none of these people ever believe us. But when it happens, what does it say in Ezekiel? Man? It says, then shall they know that a prophet is among them. Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to show the prophecies. He's going to show, everybody's going to find out the truth. All right, but the way that these people are going to wake up to the truth, the way that Jake, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, is going to understand the truth is through death by pain.
Yeah, that's why it says, behold, the former things are come to pass. A lot of the older prophecies have been fulfilled.
A lot of them.
It says, and the new things do I declare, before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
What's the biggest one?
The RFID chip.
The RFID microchip, man.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of Israelites don't believe that. Okay.
Let's see.
You have Edomites that know certain things, but do they understand do they understand the full truth? And a lot of these Edomites just regurgitate what they learned from the apostles and the elders.
This is Luke 1 and 69. And hath raised up and horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets.
Yeah, and that's heavy. He emphasized that because it wasn't just men doing their own thing. All right, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua was speaking through them. Us, the Lord speaks through us, man. Why? Because we speak the truth of the scriptures. All right, we're using the Lord's words to bring out the truth, man. We're not just out here saying anything. We back up what we're saying with scripture. What comes out of our mouth is our knowledge of the Bible, man.
which have been since the world began.
Which have been since the world, so the prophets have been around since the world began. In fact, the prophets, Yahweh and the prophets were the first beings created.
Yeah, Yahweh created the prophets, which are the first fruits. And then they went and they created everything you see. That's why it says in the beginning was a power, and the word was with the powers. Those were the first things created. And then they went and created everything you see. Which is, man, that's deepness.
That's deepness. That's deep darkness.
That's deepness, deep and darkness.
Hey, because it says in the scriptures, he was the firstborn.
Yeah.
He was the first creature created, man. You can read about that in Colossians. Actually, just get it.
How does it go?
The firstborn of every creature.
Or is it the firstborn of many brethren?
That's it.
That too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Con. This is Colossians
right?
1 and 15. It says, "Who is the image of the invisible power?"
Hey, what did Yahweh Shai say? And he said, I believe it was John, or one of the apostles, one of the disciples at the time. He said, "Show us the Lord," and
It was Philip.
Philip. That's right. You're right. He said, "Show us the Lord, and it'll suffice us. It'll be sufficient for us." And he said, "Have I been with you this long that you don't know that I am the express image of the Lord? If you've seen me, you've seen the Heavenly Father."
Yep.
All right.
He straight up told him in those words, "If you've seen me, you've seen the Father." Father, Kashar, real quick, you get Daniel 9, Daniel 9 and 12, because it gives you an image of the Heavenly Father. It gives you a depiction, I should say.
It gives you a depiction of the Heavenly Father, and then Revelation gives you the depiction of Yahweh Shai. Oh, also Daniel the 10th chapter.
Yep.
Oh, Daniel 10 is
That's the Yahweh Shai.
Oh yeah, because it says it's green like a barrel.
Yeah, 9 and I believe 10.
Get that, and then go to 10, and then go to Revelation, and we'll just get into that.
This Daniel 9 and 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, our power, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets.
Hey, which he set before by his servants the prophets. Hey, when it was in Hebrews, when it says in Hebrews that the Most High in sundry times spake to the fathers by the prophets, when it's talking about the fathers, who's it talking about? It's talking about Israelites, right? Those are the fathers. Those are the patriarchy. Jacob, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Issachar, Naphtali, Manasseh, so on and so forth, man. Right? Those are the fathers. That's the patriarchy. Okay? And who did the Lord speak his words to him through? Through the prophets, man. The Israelite men the Lord set up. Hey, this is done by Israelites for Israelites, man. This is an inside job, man. This is a family business, man.
It's FUBU. For us, by us.
For us, by us, man. That's what it is. Go ahead. It's an exclusive club, man. It's a family thing. If you ain't a part of the family, ain't nobody fucking with you, man. You're an outsider. You outside of the temple, man. You're profane. Heathen is. That's why you call it heathen, man. Foreign entity. Profane. That's why we're gonna have foreign policy, which is to put you in slavery. Go ahead.
Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses.
Yeah, what's that? Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Alright, go ahead.
The servant of power, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Hey, Butch, get let me see. Baruch 2:1, it says, "Therefore Yahweh hath made good his word, which he pronounced against us, and against our judges that judged Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses." So this is a direct precept. "That a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. Moreover, he had delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord has scattered them." So all nations have done it. Every nation under the sun has put the Israelites into slavery, into subjection.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil has come upon us. Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore hath the Lord Yahweh watched upon the evil and brought it upon us. For the Most High, our power, is righteous in all his works, which he doth, for we obeyed not his voice. And now our Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, our power, has brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and has gotten thee renown, as at this day we have sinned.
Maybe it's in 10.
It's 7 and 9. I already showed Jake.
Oh, it's 7 and 9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you said chapter 9.
I know, but when I walked over there,
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. No, bring that out. That was what we were supposed to bring out.
Yeah, the Spirit wanted it anyway.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, bring that out.
Daniel 7 and 9.
I forget why we were bringing this out.
The image. Who is the image of the invisible God?
Yeah. Okay. Read that again, and then we'll go back. Let's renew that.
Done. This is First
No, you're good. No, because what came out was spiritual. Go ahead.
This is Colossians 1 and 15. Who is the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature? For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
Yep. Okay, so it said, who is the image of the invisible God? Who is the image of the Most High? All right, which, like I said, when you read, Philip asked him, show us the Lord, and he said, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. So let's go ahead and read that.
It's Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Yeah, he said he beheld till the thrones were cast down, the thrones of these other nations. Right? Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is coming to cast these thrones down. Because it says in Revelation that he had many crowns upon his head. Alright? So Yahweh Shai is going to destroy these different nations' kingdoms, man. Okay, go ahead.
Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
So his head was like the pure wool. Alright, go ahead.
A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. Now
go to Daniel 10 and 5.
This is Daniel 10 and 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz.
Yeah, he was clothed in linen. And when the Levites, when they would go into the temple, they would be clothed in linen. All right, go ahead.
His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Yep. So, oh, go ahead. Is there more?
And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
Yep. Now go to Revelation 1 and 13. All right, so we heard the Most High his hair was like the pure wool, man. His head was like the pure wool. Now and then we read that was Yahweh Shai. We read in Daniel 10. It said his skin color was in color of grass.
Can I get this precept?
Go ahead.
This is St. John 14:7. If he had known me, he should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him and have seen him. Philip saith unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it sufficeth us. Yahweh Shai saith unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father?
Yep. So that's what the scripture that I was quoting. So he's saying, I look like the Most High, man. He's saying, if you see me, you seen the Most High, man. All right, go ahead, get that Revelation.
There's Revelation 1:13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
So he had hair like the pure wool, like his father, man. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So there you go, man. So the image of the Lord is the image of the so-called black man. All right? From the tribe of Judah, so-called Negro, man. All right? The same people that came over here from West Africa were brought over here in slave ships. All right? If Yahweh Shai was around during those times, he would have been a slave, man. All right? Just like the Romans crucified him 2,000 years ago. Hey, when that was the Romans that did that, a lot of people later said, oh, the Jews did it. The Jews didn't do it. The Jews delivered him to the Romans. The Romans are the ones that crucified him. The Romans are the ones that beat the hell out of him. All right? So that's the image of the Lord right there. That's who the actual Israelites are. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? The people that you see, you know, walking up and down these streets looking like criminals, different things that the media depicts them as, you know. That's the Israelites, man, living in squalor, living in poor neighborhoods, man. Got woolly hair, so on and so forth. The salt of the earth, musically inclined, the best at everything that they do, dominating in all these different categories, sports, entertainment. Right? Those are the Israelites, man. Why? Because the Lord gave them a special spirit. Deuteronomy 7:6, it tells you that there are people above all the people upon the face of the earth. Man, it ain't even Halloween yet, man.
It's not.
It's not Halloween.
It's not. It looks like it's Halloween already. You look like Minnie Mouse.
Well, thank you, but it's Hello Kitty, but thank you very much, though.
You look like Minnie Mouse if she was a street woman. I didn't want to say. I don't want. Like Minnie Mouse on crack. Yeah.
This is back in Colossians 1 and 17. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist.
By him, all things consist. So everything that you see going on, all right, that's all because Yahweh Bashem Shai is making it to carry on, man. All right, through this word. Through this word. This is the driving force of the world right here, man. This is what everything is driven off of is these words, man. What does it say in the scriptures? My words don't go out void, man. They accomplish the things that I set out to do, man. So when the Most High says anything, it gets done, man. Yahweh Shai makes sure it gets done.
Verse 18. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, and in all things he might have the preeminence.
And if all things he might have the preeminence, what does that mean? That means that Yahweh Shai is supposed to get glory like the Father gets glory, man.
The critic comes.
So, I mean, if you're an Old Testament Israelite, you're going off. Because it says right there in the scriptures, He's supposed to get the preeminence. All right, go ahead.
For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell.
And please the Father that in him should all fullness. So the completion of creation comes with Yahweh Shai. What does it say in this Revelation? I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. All right. Oh yeah. Please don't come over here. I ain't got time for that.
It says, and
Hey,
having
that shit's catching. That's taking a lot of souls, man. He's probably gonna come over here too.
Yeah.
All that Egyptology nonsense, all that Pharaoh nonsense, that Moor shit.
I believe the Moors are in Islam, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what the Moors, the ancient Moors, they practiced. They were Muslims.
Yeah.
And they always come out with some bugged out nonsense. I was watching this one dude on Joe Rogan named Hotep Jesus. And he was talking about that he didn't believe that the so-called black people came as on slave ships. He thinks that they were already here, that the actual Native Americans were so-called black people. It's like, I don't believe. So are you telling me that the transatlantic slave trade never took place? That's madness. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Verse 18, Slakia, verse 20, it says, and having made peace through the blood of his cross, by him to reconcile all things unto himself. By him I say.
Yeah, to reconcile all things to himself, right? Hey, because Israel sinned against the Lord, and so they went off, right? And so what happened? They were kind of cast off, you know. Hey, it even says in the scriptures that if you will not hear the church, then count them as a heathen.
Yep.
And so Jake that repents is being reconciled back to the Most High through the blood of Yahweh Shai. And you reject that, then there's no reconciliation.
By him to reconcile all things unto himself. By him I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven. And you that were sometime alienated and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now hath he reconciled in the body of his flesh through death, to present you holy and unblameable and unreprovable in his sight.
And that came about by the death of Yahweh Shai. That came about through the sprinkling of the blood, the covering, right? So that was the sin offering. That was the sacrifice for the sins of the nation of Israel, man. So that you could be blameless through the blood of, not because you're blameless, but because Yahweh Shai has sacrificed his blood for you, so that you could appear blameless. Through what? Through the remission of sins, through repentance, through belief in Him. As it tells you in the scripture, when it says that even as the serpent was lifted up in the wilderness, so Yahweh Shai had to be lifted up as a sign, man, right, of salvation. Because everybody that was bit by the fiery serpents in the wilderness, when they looked upon that serpent, they were healed.
Yep.
Right? And so that's it.
Yeah. So in this turn, you worship, you praise, you look upon the Son, Yahweh Shai, and believe. Because, hey, that's another thing, is when they actually looked at that serpent, they believed, they had faith that they would be healed. So that's a major thing, is actually believing that Yahweh Shai is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't be healed if you don't believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And because everybody that was hit, like the people that come up and listen to these words, man, you're not gonna understand it. You're not gonna get it if you don't believe in it. So you're not gonna be healed. You're not gonna understand the truth if you don't believe in it. Just like how the apostle Elder Tar was bringing out, like you accepted the 12 tribes sign by faith, by belief. The same way the Israelites were being healed by Yahweh Shai 2,000 years ago by faith and by belief, right? That was what healed them, was their faith. And I see you looking over here. He don't want to come over here.
Oh no.
Hey, but the righteous are bold and blind. He's probably over there selling his wisdom. He's probably over there preaching to the dude in the red shirt right now. Yeah.
Wanna put the camera on him?
Nah, I don't care. Fuck that guy.
Insignificant.
He looking like goofball walking around with that stupid forehead. Hey,
Verse 23.
the Israelites are the chosen people, Yahweh Shem Yahweh. They are the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Yeah.
All right, if you don't believe in that, you're gonna die. If you don't believe it, that's the cold hard truth about it. You don't believe in it, you're gonna die.
And the cool hard thing is, the scriptures say whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't believe in this, the Lord don't give a damn.
It wasn't given to them.
You're gonna
Hey,
know it.
what did it say? If our gospel be hid,
It is hid to them that are
they're lost.
Yeah. You're just some lost souls, man.
Lost souls. Like that dude, like that guy last week. Lost soul, man. He came up humble at first, the first time he came up, and then he bugged out.
Verse 23, it says, if you continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven, whereof I, Paul, am made a minister.
Hey, what did it say? It said, surely their line has gone throughout the ends of the earth, man.
Yep.
Everybody at one point or another has had the chance to either accept or reject. Yahweh Shai, man.
Now it's just time for their rewards.
Yeah, no, he's coming with the rewards in his hands, the right and the left hand. You know, the righteous reward that comes in the right hand is salvation. On the other hand, you got the left hand side, which is destruction. All right, you're just gonna bow down to the slaughter.
This is Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come. But first, the word of the Lord had to be preached for a witness unto all nations to say, look, this is what's coming. This is the truth, man. You know? All you think, all these weapons of war, all these different acts and legislations, all this different stuff that has been passed throughout the years, all these different global agendas that have been floating around, the New World Order, you think all of that is just going to go nowhere? All of this stuff is heading for a climax. There's an end game, man. The Georgia Guidestones weren't put up for nothing. Keep the population under 500 million. That's not for nothing. There's like over 300 million, 400 million people just in America. Just in America. There's like 9 billion people in the world, maybe more now. So think about that. Esau wants to reduce the population to be under 500 million.
That's a lot of death and destruction, man.
All right.
That's where World War III comes in.
Yeah. That's the agenda of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, is to punish the earth, man, with violence, with war, pestilence, famine, destruction. Right?
You couldn't have picked a better devil, man, than Esau, man.
Yeah, coming with the nuclear missile. That's why he said he created the waster to destroy, man. So all this bullshit that people believe in and think about and talk about, none of it matters, because at the end of the day, what does it say in Malachi? The day cometh when the earth shall burn as an oven. All this nonsense is going to be fucking melted. All this nonsense is going to be destroyed. Your money's going to be destroyed. Your businesses are going to be destroyed. Your car is going to be destroyed. You're going to be fucking destroyed, man. If you don't get with the program, if you don't repent.
This is 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
The heavens shall pass away with a great noise. All these different kingdoms are going to be fucking destroyed, man, by missiles with a great noise, man. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Everything is made out of elements. So the elements themselves are gonna be on fire, man. Well, you got everybody's carbon based. You're a carbon based life. Carbon itself is gonna be on fire.
I believe that's what charcoal is. Carbon, right?
I don't know.
I believe so.
If it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I know diamonds, they come from coal mine. You find diamonds in coal. And a diamond is 100% carbon.
That's what people are made out of.
Man, different elements, man. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
What does it say? What does it say in Zechariah 14 and 12?
You get it up.
Get Zechariah 14 and 12.
I got
You got precept?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Go ahead. Keep going.
As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it?
Yeah. And so that's a description of another good one is Daniel 12, where it tells you that there's going to be a time of trouble such as never been on the earth, man. All right. So that's what it's going to be like. There's going to be no silver lining, man. All right. If you're not part of the elect, if you're not of the elect, get Zechariah 14 and 12, and we'll close it with that.
There's Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Hey, Jerusalem is a people before as a place. And right now at this time, Jerusalem is the elect. Alright? So if you're an Israelite and you're fighting against the elect, you're fighting against the word Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, alright, you have also fought against Jerusalem because if you're an Israelite, but you're not of the elect, then that means you're actually a heathen. Alright, go ahead.
Their flesh shall consume away. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall be among them, and they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor.
Yeah, so the plague that's going to come is the nuclear missiles. And what has the power to melt you while you stand? All right, when you had descriptions of when they dropped the bombs over there in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it said just from the brightness of the explosion, people's eyeballs melted in their heads. Just from the brightness of the initial detonation, immediately their eyeballs and their tongues melted in their skulls. So that's talking about nuclear destruction, man. If you got common sense, you could see that. Well, really, if you got the spirit, you could see that. So that's what's coming, man. That's the truth, man. If you're not part of the elect, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to destroy you, man. So with that, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Harakakadash.
Double honors to our elders and apostles, the great millstone of our will, and peace, love, and blessings to the hopefully elect, that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in its sincerity. All right, shalom.
Shalom.